Hello and a warm welcome. Modern Guitar School is online and I'm very happy that you've tuned in again. What's it about today? Today we have some great blues riffs in a minor key. Last week I showed you blues riffs in a major key, and today we're doing the whole thing in a minor key. It's going to be a bit more rock, a bit like Whitesnake, Gary Moore style. Let yourself be surprised and stay tuned. I'll show you a little teaser with the riffs we're talking about today, and that I'll be explaining to you. Riff number 1. Now for riff number 2, a bit more classic. And riff number 3, a bit more rock. Okay, let's start with riff number 1. Today we are completely in the key of A minor, and there are different variations of the normal blues scheme, which I will explain to you in detail. The main chords of our 3 blues examples today are a minor 7, D minor 7, and E7. There are 1 or 2 other variations, but I'll get to those later when we get to the example. Now let's first do the main figure of riff number 1. I borrowed that a little bit from Whitesnake, but it's no big deal. They borrowed it too and covered it from someone. So here is the basic figure of example 1. You have an A minor 7 chord. And do a little hammer-on on the D string, open D string, then the 7th and then the minor 3rd. The nice aspect comes after that, namely a slide from the 2nd fret of the D string to the 4th fret. Yes, it creates a wonderful voicing, and we once again have the typical 6th in our chord. For all of you who don't know what a 6th is, you probably know an A power chord consisting of the root and the 5th. If you go from the 2nd fret of the D string to the 4th fret, you have the major 6th. After the 5 comes the 6. Actually not that hard. And you all know this blues riff. That's the typical sound of a blues riff. And if you add the major 6th to a chord, as in this case, you have a little blues aspect in your harmony. And it creates a wonderfully open chord because the open strings continue to ring. So that's the main figure. This time we have an 8-bar blues progression, which I'll show you here. And when it later goes to D minor 7, this is a D minor 7, you basically have the same construct, namely a hammer-on on the G string. With a slide afterwards. And this in turn creates a major 6th. I'll show you again quickly. Okay, now take a look at the complete blues progression. I'll also show you the tabs. Okay, let's move on to riff 2. This sounds a bit like Gary Moore in his blues phase, or like old traditional blues riffs. It's really an absolute classic. Have a quick listen. Yeah, a nice slide in there. What's happening here harmonically? You're surely familiar with the A minor bar chord on the 5th fret. Now if you lift your pinky finger, then you have an A minor 7. And the seventh is a typical interval that you constantly find in blues harmonies, because the seventh gives the chord a certain friction, a certain tension. Listen, the root note and the seventh together has a slight dissonance. So, and now we're on the 5th fret. Thick E string, that's the note A. This means you can also use the open A string, it's the same note, and fret the upper part of the chord with a bar finger. Then you have the same A minor 7 sound as before. I'll show you that as well, then you might understand it better. So, and from this little mini voicing, you do a slide 2 frets higher. And just like that, you have a little classic blues riff. This time we have a standard blues progression. I'll show that as well. This means we play this little mini riff for 4 bars. Then it goes to D minor 7. And there I've transferred the same basic idea, namely the open D string, a partial of a D minor bar chord, D minor 7, sorry. And you only use the G string and the B string. This creates the 5th and 6th fret. I'll show that as well. And you have the same mini slide again. So it's not as boring as just playing D minor the whole time. You have a little blues riff, and it sounds much more interesting than just playing the D minor chord the whole time. So now it's getting interesting. In bar 9, we have the E minor 7 chord, which is still standard. But then it doesn't go down to the D minor 7 as it conventionally would. Instead, I go up a semitone to the F major 7. Why can you do that? I'll show you the explanation here. The F major 7, or the F major chord, is a so-called substitute for the D minor 7. Because the two, D minor 7 and F major, have 3 notes in common. Yes, you could also say an F major is a D minor 7 without its root note. Yes, it might sound complicated, but in D minor 7 you have A, C, and F, and A, C, and F in a different order. F, A, and C is F major. That's how you can tell it's a substitute. And it's even nicer and more elegant if you play an F major 7, because then counting from D minor you have a major 9th in there, and add 9, so to speak. So it's harmonically justifiable, but it gives the whole thing some variety and maybe a little more elegance. So we have E minor 7, F major 7, then I have the little turnaround, D minor 7, E minor 7, and back to the target chord, A minor 7. Then in the 12th bar comes the dominant. You might be wondering about that, since we're actually talking about a minor blues. Why do we have a major chord here? It's very simple. This major chord has a function, and its function is to lead back to the first chord. Because this dissonance wants to resolve, so the listener has a sonic logic that ends with a dissonance, which leads you back to the beginning, and the ear accepts that as a logical tonal cycle. Alright, have a listen to the whole riff. I've recorded it. Okay, in riff number 3, we're moving on to the hard rock blues. 80s. There were guitarists on the scene who were influenced by the blues era of the 50s and 60s. And now, with more gain, they still played their blues progression. So we're still following the normal blues progression in A minor, but this time with more distortion, a little heavier. And just like that, we're with Whitesnake and Gary Moore in his rock phase. Let me explain the basic idea of this riff. We're back to the A minor 7th, as I explained earlier. If you, as already explained, lift your little finger, you have an A minor 7th. Now you can take the D string, 5th fret, G string, 5th fret, as a small section from the chord, and instead of the fretted note A, play the open string, and you'll have an A minor 7th sound like this. Okay, to give the whole thing a bit of a riff character, I alternately played the note B on the G string. Sounds like this. That's basically a 4-bar A riff. And then it goes to the D minor 7th, the same idea, a section of D minor 7th, as explained earlier. And so on. Listen to it in its entirety. I've recorded it. Yes, that was riff number 3. I hope you enjoyed it. For everyone who wants to play along with Guitar Pro files, PDFs, and backing tracks, there's a download link below the video. There you can download, as I said, the correctly written Guitar Pro files, the PDFs, and the tracks, studio tracks, and backing tracks in studio quality, just as you hear in the video. Then you can sit down at home and practice it all in peace. So download it, it's really worth it. I worked out, arranged, and recorded all the tracks myself. I hope you can work well with them. Wonderful, I'd say we're done once again. I hope you had fun and learned something. If so, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. That would be wonderful feedback from you, which would make me very happy. Thanks a lot in advance for that. Just another quick note while we're at it. I have a newsletter that you are welcome to sign up for. And the benefit for you is on December 24th, I will send you a newsletter with content worth 20 euros. I will add a free big workshop about chords, and for the people who play Kemper, I will include a profile of a really great amp that I have profiled. And the sound is really killer. So, sign up for the newsletter. The whole thing is free, but you will get something for it on December 24th. It's worth it, so sign up. And I won't bombard you with 1,000 newsletters a week. You'll rarely get anything, but when you do, it'll be something really good. I promise. Okay, I'll get started on the next workshop for you. You're in for a surprise, and we'll see each other next week. Take care. Ciao.